Hi, everybody. It's me, Tim. Today I want to do some commenting on comments. It's a fun Friday. It's something that's been bubbling in my brain case and shows up in my notes. I take notes about my channel. Why? It's me. Of course, I take notes. I write notes about comments. Now, this video is going to be similar to the other videos I have about making a channel. I don't even consider myself a YouTuber, but my Wikipedia page now says I'm a game developer and YouTuber. So it must be true. It's weird to me because I don't consider YouTubing my main thing. I do this a little bit in the morning, but I spend more time playing games and making games than I do with this channel, which you can tell from my awesome production values. But I have talked that this video has had, doing this channel had effects on me. And it's kind of had effects in the industry too, and I have videos on that. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about comments, specifically comments from you guys. I've said in so many videos and so many comments that I read every single comment you guys leave here. Most of you are awesome. I never thought I'd be making this channel for as long as I have. It's almost 3 years now. I thought I'd be doing it for 2 or 3 months tops. And then I'd run out of topics and that'd be it. There'd be some videos up, Tim Kane on games. But it's been almost 3 years. It's been past 2.5. I think we're at like 2 3/4 now. And the reason for that is you guys. You leave such good and thoughtful and insightful questions that I how many times have I said, I can't believe I haven't talked about this, or this is foundational and I just skipped it. It didn't even occur to me to talk about this. Many, many times because people leave such good comments. That's not what I want to talk about today. Let's talk about the other comments. I broke them down into types that I see regularly that always makes me either I don't understand what's going on or I'm a little concerned. So let's talk about that. There's a frequent comment type I get that starts with the person saying, Tim will never see this. And of course, at the very beginning, I'm like, I see this. I read all the comments. I thought this was one of the people who didn't know that I read all the comments. Then I realized it was more of a reverse psychology thing. A lot of them were doing. They know I read the comments. They want me to answer their comment. And they get me to answer it by going, I don't even think he's even going to read it. Prove me wrong. I answered a few of those, but now because I'm wondering about the reverse psych, I don't necessarily answer those with any more frequency than the other ones. I'm wondering if I even deliberately do less. I don't think I do, but I could see myself going, I do read everything. So I keep reading and I read what everyone writes, even the not so nice stuff, which some people have learned to go, aha, I can write mean stuff on here and I know Tim will read it. Yeah, I do read it. Mostly I'm concerned for you, but I do read it. Anyway, I get enough of those that they don't really affect me anymore. So if you're one of those people who are like, I'm going to get Tim with this reverse psychology, okay. Another comment type I get that's way more frequent than I expected, but it's not just on mine. I look on other channels and other channels have this too. Somebody said, well, I only watched the first 30 seconds of this video, but I have a question. Or I watched the first minute and I can't believe Tim didn't talk about X. These sometimes are followed up by, oh, he addressed it later. Okay, he addressed it later. Which makes me wonder, if you came back on to do that, you could have just deleted your comment. But the real question I'm wondering is, why didn't you just watch the whole thing? My videos average at about 10 minutes. The long ones tend to be 15. Rarely I'll do a really long one that's like 30 minutes or 45 minutes. But usually the average is about 10 minutes. I find it hard to believe that people can't watch a 10-minute video to see if I'm going to mention something. But they have to pause after 30 seconds and go, you didn't bring this up right away in the first 30 seconds. I don't get it. I wonder if it's a reverse psychology thing like the first one where people are like, I'm going to get Tim to comment on this because he did say something. And now he will comment to prove me wrong. The problem is I don't have time to spend on a lot of comments like that, so I usually don't say anything. Even if I did comment, even if I did say something about what they're looking for and they never come back to say I did, usually someone else says, he does say it, and they often give a timestamp. And I appreciate you folks. Another common comment type is the people who are being really sarcastic or joking. I can't tell, and obviously other people can't either based on the responses, but I think some of you think we can hear your voice. Like when you write something, you think we can hear you going, I'm sure that's right, Tim. Where I read it as, I'm sure that's right, Tim. Good video. You're right. Because sometimes I'll answer these and the person will go, I was just kidding. That wasn't a real question. And I'm like, it was funny. I don't get it. But you know what? Humor's hard. I know humor's hard. I have a whole video on how hard humor is to do, which maybe you may want to watch. If you leave a sarcastic comment and people weren't getting it, you may want to watch my video on why humor's hard, because humor's hard to do. It's hard to do well. It's even harder to do well. So I'll just leave it at that. A common thing. This is super common. This may be the most common comment type I get, which is people leaving the exact same comment as dozens of other people in the exact same video. Sometimes it's a question and they will ask the same question as dozens of other people have already asked in the same video. What's weird is they don't seem to know other people have done it, even though if they just glance down at the comments. And I know people go, I can't read all the comments. You don't have to read all of them. In a video that has maybe 200 comments and people have asked the same question 20 times, you're going to see it if you just scroll down a little bit. But what's weird is if I don't answer, some of those people then repeat their question in the next video and the next one and the next one, even though none of the videos, including the original, had anything to do with their question. Because I often find if people ask a question in a video that has to do with their question, that will help other people who may have gone to that video and went, oh, I'm wondering why Tim didn't talk about this. And then they go and they look and they say, oh, he answered it in the comment section. If they ever get called out for asking the same thing as other people or repeatedly doing it in every video, some of them get really angry and they say things like, I can't read all those comments in that section, but I can. And more than that, you're expecting me to. So this is something that I kind of don't get. And I just leave it there and go. But speaking of which, though, many times if I respond to a question that I've answered somewhere else, I'll just put a link to a video that, oh, here's a video I've already made that answers your question. Guess how I found that video? I searched using keywords from your question. Just at Google, not in any special search engine I have, just a Google search. You can even say cite Canon Games, so you can restrict it to just searching my YouTube channel, and it popped right up. So in my head, I sometimes think, well, 0 effort in a question gets 0 effort in my answer. So think about that if you want to ask me a question. That's why I tend to go for questions that are really unique and unusual and insightful and thoughtful. Those are the ones I jump on. Which kind of gets me to the last comments I want to talk about. I've had people quit my channel because I don't respond to their questions or their comments. Sometimes, at least with one person, he never asked a question, he just left comments and I never responded. I've seen this more than once, so I'm not calling anyone out. I do have concerns about this behavior, and I'm serious here. I have almost 200,000 subscribers, and each one of my video gets between 5 to 10,000 views on average, and on average between 200 and 500 comments. But here are people who are mad that I'm not here for them personally, as if that wasn't obvious. This is a video. I'm not. It isn't a dialogue. And I'm really concerned about these people, because if this is someone going through life who's probably taking a lot more other things personally than just my little video channel, and they're taking these things personally and they shouldn't be. And so my reaction to this is I'm concerned, because this is not good behavior. This is not healthy behavior. If you don't like a channel anymore, you should just quit. I don't think you need to announce you're quitting. But if the reason you're quitting is you didn't get some kind of back and forth that you were looking for, I don't think you're in the right location for that. And I don't think you're taking away from my channel what you could be taking away from it. So I'm sorry I'm not providing it, but this is what I'm providing. Anyway, all these comment types I noticed because I took notes about my channel, because I'm me, and I've been doing this since the beginning. I've been tracking data and comments and everything on my channel, looking at the analytics. I kept my own analytics before I even knew that YouTube had a analytics section in their content creator thing. I will point out here, I thought memberships would help in this regard. I've got a whole video on my memberships. I don't really talk about them that much, although, like being gay, there are people who, every time I bring them up, they get very angry. Why do you talk about this all the time? I really don't mention them that much. But, and I added them a year into making the channel after the channel hit 100K subscribers, because I added them for a lot of reasons. First of all, I thought no member is going to pay money to be snarky. I was wrong. At least one person pays me money every month to then be snarky. But overall, the member comments are better quality. And let me define what I mean by better quality. So I'm not vague here. I'm not saying these comment people are better. I'm saying their comments are better quality. And here's what I mean. Their comments tend to occur after they've watched the whole video. How do I know this? They're asking me questions about things that didn't come up in the video. Or they're talking about things near the end of the video going, oh, I really wish you would have continued that and talked about this. B, they think about what they're writing. Some of my really insightful questions where people call me out on not defining some foundational terms in my videos are coming from my channel members. Another thing I noticed is every time I do a video, and this is happening more and more frequently, I link other videos because they provide context to the things I'm talking about. If I had to go back and say everything I said before, my videos would become 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, and I'd be repeating myself a lot. So often what I do is I go, oh, there's a linked video. I say that because it has context for what I'm literally saying at that moment. My members tend to watch those because I find that when I post a new video that links to an old one, I see my members posting questions in the old one. So they frequently check to see if what they're asking has been asked before, because I get less duplicate from the members. Not saying you have to be a member. I'm just saying these are the kind of things my members do that tend to make me answer their questions more often. So if that's something you want to do, that's the kind of stuff I look for in comments. Because like I said, I like to be constructive. So there's my constructive feedback on how to be a quality commenter. However, having said all that, I still read all the comments. I read every single one. It may seem like I'm responding to fewer of them. I don't think I respond to fewer comments every day in total, but because there's just so many comments now, I probably certainly, in a percentage of comments on any particular video, I probably respond to fewer percentage just because there's more of them. And yes, I do prioritize. I have found I prioritize responding to member comments because A, they tend to be higher quality, but also the members who choose to be able to look at my video 48 hours early, those videos have fewer comments on them, and they tend to be something the member really paid attention to and had a question for. And so they're commenting on a video that won't go live for 48 hours, won't go public for 48 hours. And so I'm more likely to see that question among an otherwise empty comment section and then respond to it because it's some of the first questions that came on the video, and they tend to be pretty good quality. Anyway, those are my comments on my comments. Fun Friday video.